Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you have recovered from our marathon live stream earlier on today. That went on by pretty fast. I mean, we had quite a number of people and quite a number of questions, and before you know it, it was over 4.5 hours. And Emmanuel is here. He says, hello, Miran. Hello, Emmanuel, male 28, Boston. Thank you for that. Says, I honestly can't get that woman out of my mind. I told you about earlier today. The one in church. Yeah, well, of course, why not? I mean, she's in a spiritual location, spiritual setting. She's kind, she's beautiful, she's attentive, she's compassionate. So she kind of reflects the spirit of the faith that you're participating in, and you feel holier as if she represents the embodiment and the qualities that is being preached and um, promoted there. And so you would feel she is holy and she's also beautiful, she's also kind. And if you would be able to get to know her, you would feel closer to your God. And that's how your brain is playing with it that makes her seem so amazingly important. But in fact, she's out of that realm, out of that environment. She's just dealing with life the way everybody else is trying. And she may actually be a nice person, and she probably is. But this is an infatuation. Otherwise, she hasn't, in actuality, proven to you any reason that you should be actually interested in her that much, other than the fact that we men are interested in discipline together, neat, responsible women that present themselves in with reasonability, with logic, with proper behavior, affection, kindness. So that has impressed you. Otherwise, what else has she done to prove to you that she's actually all that? And you're 28 years old, and you say she's 48 or 49 years old. So she has this um, aura of discipline and togetherness, that she knows the answers, she's figured it out, and experienced and wise. So that also is playing a role into the whole attraction that you have for her, as you kind of look at her as a woman of substance and intelligence. So that attracts you in addition to her, other physical attributes. Yeah, regardless of what you think of her in that setting, you have other options that you can have more things in common with than a lady who obviously, as you say, at this age never was maybe interested, or never had the opportunity, or never had the intention to get married and have children and so on and so forth. So she has her ways set. She's happy with that. And you're at a different time in your life. You're 28 years old, for heaven's sake. Um, you have a different path in front of you and different plans to feel that you have accomplished what you had set out to accomplish in this journey of life. So I think you should continue admiring her and enjoying her and setting her with what you know about her, which may or may not be true at all. But from the distance, what you feel from her, what you think she is, you can keep that as a measuring stick for the candidates that you will find. If they somehow, to some level, measure up to her, or it would be like a role model, something to gauge other candidates against, and that would help you to maybe perhaps pick a better candidate for yourself if you had not been comparing her to anybody else. So you can use it that way. Otherwise, pursuing that lady, it's just illogical. You know, I suggest you pass on that. So how can I not fall in love with her? Well, you're falling in love with an image you have of her in your mind. You don't know her. How can you fall in love with her? With a woman that you don't even know? Yes, we men think that we are in love with any woman that has some beauty, physically or mentally, about her, because you have certain needs and you have a certain special position for a woman in your life, and this could be a certain way to fulfill what it is that you're missing in your life. However, you cannot love her when you don't know her. And you don't know her. All you know is that she works at the church and she's compassionate and nice and kind and together and pretty and all that. But you don't know her. So what you say, how can you not love her? You don't love her. You don't know her to love her. To love her, you got to know her. To know her, you got to know her consciousness. You got to be able to interact with her, to know her consciousness. And you don't know all that. So if you don't know all that, you cannot love her. So you perhaps know of her. You hope that she's a certain way, plus all her good looks and all that. But you don't know her. So when you don't know her, you cannot love her. And so what you're saying is really just, you know what you're saying. I mean, you're smart enough to know that you're just infatuated with her, but there is no real opportunity there for either one of you. Mariana says, hello, Meran. Hello, Mariana, female 29, Mexico, she says. Thank you for that. She says the live earlier was over 4.5 hours, and we have you here again. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of, I went for a bit of a short walk and shop some food and stuff like that, but I really would like to have a long walk to kind of get that seating or sitting for that many hours away from myself. That was a little bit too long. And and Wired Champ says, hello, sir. What is the best advice you can give for a 19-year-old? Be a 19-year-old. That's the best advice. Be a 19-year-old. And focus on your education. Focus on understanding your psyche and separation between brain, thoughts, and you. Separation of them. And the fact that you choose the apparatus of the brain to make thoughts to advance your life and your goals, and understand that the brain itself uses apparatus of itself to make thoughts, and those thoughts are not your thoughts. They're irrelevant to you, unbeknown to you, a separate system. Therefore, to understand the brain separation from you, you are above brain. Brain works for you. You are not the brain. Brain is not you. Hence, the thoughts are not you that are made by the brain. They're mostly intrusive. And so you disregard them. They could be in the background busy, but you just simply focus on your life and ignore the background noise, which are the thoughts that the brain is using, the brain's apparatus, and making thoughts with it. You're not using the brain at those moments. When you use the brain, you know it. You're using it purposely with certain information from the consciousness for you to accomplish certain things that you want to accomplish for advancing your life. That's your thoughts. But the brain also uses its own apparatus to make thoughts, and those thoughts are intrusive and irrelevant and useless. And you should know the difference. So once you know the separation between brain, you, and thought, and you do your education and you meditate to increase the GABA neurotransmitters, which are responsible for dealing with depression and anxiety and so on. And also they're responsible for better management of intrusive thoughts. GABA neurotransmitters are. In fact, now scientists know what neurotransmitter is good for what, is used for what. And meditation also increases serotonin, melatonin, growth hormone, and decreases the cortisol level by 50%, pretty much. Depends on how much meditation you do. So these are education, meditation, understanding the separation between brain, thoughts, and you, and good nutrition, exercise to your fitness level. That would be pretty much for now. And Weird Champ says, I subscribe today to you. Really enjoy your videos. Oh, delighted to hear that. Says, sir, uh, Guyane from, I'm Gyan or Guyane, 19 from Sri Lanka, currently studying business management and analysis. Good for you. Says, I suffer from major depressive disorder. Should I stop dating? No. What? You just don't have to make all dates into a certain level or have a plan for it. Just enjoy, socialize, and then you'll see which one is really qualified or not. But don't think that they're more qualified than you because they're a woman, you're a man, and then that means that's how it is in that neck of the wood. No, they got to qualify. They got to show what they've got. What are they bringing to the table other than their beauty? You know, what else? What else? What are you bringing? Intelligence, smarts, education. Let her educate. Let her have a career. Don't be one of those guys that say, no, sit at home, clean and wash and then, cook and then I come home, I feel great. No, let her understand economic hardship or efforts and be productive to make herself feel good and productive. And that will bring a good energy to herself, which would be able to extend it to you as when you are successful in what you're doing, learning better in your industry and doing good in your industry and you're productive, then you feel good about yourself, then you can give more attention and love by the ability to provide for yourself and for your family, and you'll be in a better mood because you feel good about yourself, because you feel productive. And the woman also in any part of the world need to feel the same. Every human being needs to feel to be productive. So make sure when you choose a woman, would be a woman who actually has education, has some kind of a career, and she's able to share the duties of life, whether inside the house or outside the house, together. Not that you just create that traditional way 100%. Yeah, I understand. Women have their own specialities, things that you can't do as good as they can, and you have your speciality that they can't do as good as you can, but still you guys can cooperate and keep it to a balanced way. So don't think just because oh, she's a pretty girl, then she's qualified in 100% in every way. No, it's not. Because you can't have a relationship and build a life with pretty. You have a relationship with the consciousness of the pretty and your consciousness. So these two consciousnesses should be compatible. Otherwise, it's trouble. All right. Emmanuel says, okay, to Steve. And hello, Mehran. Christoph here. Oh my goodness, Christoph is here. How are you? How is everything? And thank you for the nice card that you emailed it on the messenger. Appreciate that. And wish you a wonderful Christmas and a New Year as well. And be good, be safe, take good care. And Weird Champ says, I have trouble keeping stable human relationships. Well, that needs a discussion. Perhaps if you think you can, and it's possible for you, you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment on Skype. And usually for new clients, when they make an appointment for an hour, I offer 2 hours. So that would be quite enough time for us to get to know what the issue is and get acquainted and then explore what's concerning you together. I don't think this would be a place for it because it needs a back and forth, lots of questions and lots of interactions, and that wouldn't work. It would turn it into a private discussion, I guess, leaves everybody else out of it. And Weird Champion says, Merry Christmas, sir. Almost forgot Christmas this year has been not great for anyone. Well, Christmas is Christmas, regardless of what is happening in our lives. Christmas is not happening now. It happened years ago, so its effect is still as fresh or as the same as last year, regardless of what's our inner lives are. So this year, it's been all pandemics and all the other garbage that goes with it, but still Christmas. So it's time to celebrate and be jolly and as much as we can, and be have that spirit, good spirit of the yearly. You know, when once a year people try to be human beings and they're all nice to each other. I hope that would be extending throughout the year, not just Christmas. But nevertheless, it's Christmas, so we can be better humans at this time and extend the spirit of Christmas. And regardless if you're Christian or not, still Christmas is Christmas. And you can celebrate all other religions' special days, and they're all meaning well. So whether you're a Christian or not, it's Christmas time. Let's celebrate and let's be jolly and let's be good to each other and be concerned and considerate and wish good for everyone. And Merry Christmas to you as well, Weird Champ. And Abhishek says, how to forgive ourselves for our past deeds. If you knew better, you wouldn't have something that you want to forgive yourself. So it's not like intentionally you went some stuff that now you have to forgive yourself. So, you know, I remember when I was in university, my professor in behavior and organization, Dr. Richard Ferris, in one of his lectures, he said, at the time one makes a decision, one believes that that decision is correct. That's why he makes it, because we're not crazy people. If we don't think the decision is correct or beneficial, we won't make it. At that moment, with what is available, what information is available to us, you make a judgment and make a decision. Now, later on, when more information becomes apparent to you and available to you, and you say, oh, I shouldn't have made that decision, well, that's not fair, because at the time you made the decision with the information you had, that's the best decision you could have made, knowing who you are, what you know, how much experience you have in that kind of decision making. So you can't blame yourself and say, well, I should have made a different decision because now, the hindsight, I can see why I shouldn't have made that decision. Well, at the time you were making that decision, you didn't know what the result would be, outcome would be, to make changes right that moment before you make a decision. So you made the decision. Later on, you found out, hey, the outcome wasn't that great. So next time you make a better decision. But you can't blame yourself for the decision you made, because at the time that you made the decision, you believed that the decision was correct. That's dedicated to Dr. Ferris. He was my favorite teacher, actually. I wish him well. I hope he's still with us, and wherever he is. How old is he now? I think when I was there, I was 21 in his class, and he was probably 45, maybe even 50 possibly. Not sure. So 40 years later, oh yeah, hopefully he's still with us. He's like 85, possibly 90. Yeah, that would be great. Seriously, since the last chat of since the last live chat, I've been thinking of this girl's action, and it makes me realize, why would I want her? There we go. She has proven to me she's done nothing for me, and is disqualified. Yeah, what has she done for you other than she's born with it? I mean, she's a woman, okay. But that's not supposed to automatically be a credit. While it is, women are important, but not to the point of, a personal relationship. Just because somebody is a woman, then she's qualified for you. No, what is she doing? What is she bringing to the table? Good for you, Stephen. Says, it's just that there is a part of me that doesn't want to accept it. Yeah, of course, because it is something that you had and you've tasted and you like the taste, like, you know, the whole relationship and the way you felt and the intimacy and all that. So now you say, when you look at it, you look at her, you're looking at her as if it was then when you were together. So you don't recognize her in this character and you don't like it. So you keep bringing that other image of her that you had in the past when you were together, and you overexpose it on her, impose it on her, that picture, and yet you see it doesn't match. So it becomes a conflict, a division in there. You have a different image of her, but her actuality is different, but you prefer the image that you have of her, but she's not complying and, you know, living up to the image that you have of her. So it's not really pleasant. That's why you prefer to keep the image, and by that image you go there and you get disappointed because she's not the same person anymore, but you still think of her the same person. So that's why it's awkward. So just put that image aside. That image wouldn't go anywhere. That memory wouldn't go anywhere. It's always going to be with you. The way she was, it will always be there at that first month or so, whatever it was. And this is not who she is. She's a different person now. And you got to see her as that because, you know, she's evolved. Evolved in a way that it's not no longer palatable to you. So keep that memory as it is. Enjoy that. But treat this one not with the credit of the memory, with her own credit, which is none. Zero credit. So treat her like, yeah, how you doing? Good. Have a nice day. And if she says, "Oh, but Stephen, you know, we don't have to be, enemies." You know, we're not enemies. I just don't feel that you measure up anymore. I mean, there used to be a time that I thought you were just amazing, great, but you changed. I mean, you're the same person. I'm the same person, but you've kind of flipped over. So, to me, it's like not balanced. So therefore, that's why I don't feel comfortable being around you. That's all. So just say it. Don't worry about it. Be nice, be cordial, be polite, but say what you want to say. Because I know what you guys do. You want to say something nicely, politely, courteously, but you want to express yourself, but you don't. Why? Maybe she will change her mind and I get some. Oh, don't. Don't keep yourself hostage to all these desires. Just express yourself and what you think. And be honest about it, and then you'll feel good because you kind of were assertive. You weren't just a pussycat, just in case maybe she changes her mind. No, the hell with it. She lost a chance. That's how you think. That's how you treat yourself. That's how you roll. Oh my goodness. Good. So what the hell is going on, guys? We've got 12 people and 4 likes. Honestly? Seriously? 4 likes? Really? I'm just looking at it, see if it's going to change. Your fragile fingers, butterfingers, can move on to the click, like, and click. Is it so hard? Is it really that hard? Get on with it, you lazy butts. All right, let's see who we have here. We have Aman Kadpal says, 19 male India. Hello, Aman. Says, a fear of failure and rejection. Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Nobody wants to be rejected. It's not a good feeling. But you know what? It's part of life. And part of what makes you become strong and invincible. Yeah, I've gone to the Everest mountain. I climbed it. I'm not afraid of the mountain anymore. So I've been rejected many times, you say, and so I'm not afraid of it anymore. Get more rejection. You're a man. You're supposed to be rejected. You're supposed to get used to it. You can take it. Rejection is for us, men. We get rejected. That's all right. You got to have a thick skin. Rejection is good. When you go for a job, how many times do you get a job? Or the first job that you go, you get the job. Whether you're a man or woman, when you go for an appointment to get a job, you get rejected. So get used to it. What the heck is wrong with you? So what's wrong? Where is it written that you're supposed to get everything you want the first snap? No, you get rejected. So what? It's part of progression of getting closer to where you will not be rejected. You go to one interview, you get rejected. The second year, you don't get the job. 4, 5, 6, 7. Every time you get rejected, you're getting closer to when you will get the job. So you got to look at it that way. Every rejection is a plus towards the goal. So you happen to be rejected in a, I don't know, a pursuit to get a friend with this girl. You get rejected. That's all right. That means this should have gone away so I can get to the next step. And the next one rejects. That's all right. Eventually, these will go away till you get to the one that is actually going to be very happy to meet with you. And there are certain numbers until you get to that. So the more you get rejected, the better, the closer you are to the actual treasure that you're looking for. That's how you should look at it. Okay, Atif says, hi, Mehran, 38, male, New York City. I am still having a lot of trouble stopping porn watching. Why? It's up to you. You don't have to watch it. Eventually, you got to focus that energy and time you spend on porn to socialize in positive atmospheres and get to know a woman and see if you guys have things in common and, live the actuality of life rather than virtuality of life. What is these porns that you watch? Well, yeah, maybe sometimes it's interesting because, you look at her, she's pretty and all that, so forth, something that you desire to have but you're not having, so you check it on porn. Okay, maybe. But in fact, it's just illusion. What did you go for the actual? It's like saying, I'm hungry, I just want to watch some show that is a cooking show. Okay, you keep watching the cooking show. What's going to happen? You're still going to be hungry. You still got to get off your butt and go buy the ingredients and go make the food yourself. So you still got to get up and go socialize and find a friend and see if you can hit it off with this woman and then see if you guys like each other. And then eventually, naturally, with consent, you got to the point that both of you want to have sex. And that's a real sex. No need for porno anymore. You become the porno star. That's something to hope for, right? That should be your motivation to start learning cooking rather than keep watching the cooking show. So go socialize, find people, stop that shit. So where were we? Oh, that was a thief, okay. And then Abhishek says, how to forgive ourselves for, okay, we did that. 19 says, sir, I feel like I'm a boring guy. Maybe you are. And what's wrong with that? Honestly, so many people entertain and so on, but they're not themselves. They're just having a different character, an entertaining character. But you're yourself. And compared to all these hooplas and short-term fun and entertainment, yeah, you may seem boring, but what's wrong with that? In front of the right person, you will be having a conversation that it wouldn't be boring. But if a person is looking for an entertainment, well, you're not Las Vegas. So what? Look for someone who's come from the desert, has never seen any cafe, let alone Las Vegas. So he doesn't expect Las Vegas. He's going to expect you and think of you as the Disneyland. So there was this story about this old Japanese village, and these Japanese village are farmers, and they were just living a wholesome life with their families. But every once in a while, these bandits with their guns and horses would run in and come in and take their food and take their woman if they could get them, and they just empty the inventory of their food and they go. So they said what to do, what not to do. They said, okay, let's go ask the old man who lives just outside the city, the wise man. So they go to the old man and say, what do we do? This is what happens. We do the crop, we have food, we grow all these things, but these bandits come and steal our food, and we have no power to fight them because we are farmers. We are not fighters. So the old man says, "Go hire a samurai." Now remember, this is old Japan, Japanese villages. So the old man says, "Go hire a samurai." He says, "But we don't have any money to give him." So what do we give him? He said, "Well, give him rice. You are farmers, you have lots of rice. You offer him rice as payment when you go to the city to hire them." So they go to the city and they talk to different samurais that they see they're walking around very strong and confident. So they talk with them, and as soon as they finish the thing, they get beaten up. So they come back after a whole day or so, trying to come back to the old man. Says, "What do you mean you send us to the city to look, for samurais and offer them rice? They beat the crap out of us. They were insulted that we're offering the rice." He looks at them and says, "Go find hungry samurai." There's a wisdom. If you want to be looking like you're an entertainer, well, you shouldn't behave in that way if you're in Las Vegas, because you look like a fool and you don't measure up. So the idea is, first of all, don't try to be an entertainer. Don't try to be something that you're not. Your character is not that. So don't be. That funniness and amusement and pleasantry will come to you naturally when you're in the right setting. But you try to make yourself act it in order to impress some girls, it wouldn't work because that's not your character. Second, find someone who's also serious like you or not looking for all entertainments so she can appreciate your character rather than you trying to you're wondering why you're not appreciating your character is not appreciated by everyone and everyone. Well, just find people who are suitable to your character rather than expecting everybody be dazzled by your character. You have a fine character, there's nothing wrong with it. Some other people have different character, but it is you who think to be like them is to be more popular just because a bunch of girls laughed at some kind of entertainment that somebody was trying to do or talking about some story or whatnot. You don't have to follow their footsteps. Be yourself and don't worry about it. You will find the right person that would appreciate how you are. Weird champ says, "Sir, I have trouble moving from..." Don't think that I didn't see it. There's 15 concurrent viewers and 10 likes. Move your butts, guys. What's going on? How difficult is it to click that like? I mean, look, we want to make algorithm of YouTube think that we're very popular, so they would show us more. So this like is not for my ego; it's for the fact that we want to make a difference in the setting in the YouTube. So click on that like, even if you don't like it. The hell with it. What are you doing here then? So move it. So we have Weird Champ says, "Sir, I have trouble moving from my past girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. It's been almost 2 years. Oh God. That past relationship caused me severe trauma." Why? Why should it cause you severe trauma? Why? Was it the only woman in this world? Why? Do you think she did you a favor to be with you? Well, that's because you have such a low impression of yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to appreciate who you are. You need to focus what accomplishments you have, what specialities you have, what talents you have, what you're good for, and you're compassionate, you're a kind person. You gotta have these things in your mind, and that would be your image. You have to have self-confidence because of who you are, what you've accomplished, what you are, how you behave and treat other people. That's most important. Rather than thinking, oh, well, it was a trauma. What trauma? Whether she said, whether you left her or she left you, okay, it's part of life. I mean, for heaven's sake, God forbid, we lose our parents and we live with it. We get used to it. We go on with our duties and responsibilities. But your beloved father or mother has passed. But you end up to be okay with it. You still go do your job, you still go do your thing, you still end up after a while laughing and so on and so forth. And then yet a girlfriend who hasn't died just broke up with you. You can't take it, it's a trauma. Was it a trauma? What? What do you have less than her? And who is she? Who died and left her in charge to be the flower of your life? Somebody else. So many other flowers around. You put women who don't appreciate it or don't deserve it on a pedestal for no reason, just because you think you're not good enough and a woman is just laying beside you, so that must mean something. I need her to feel good about myself. No. You need to negotiate life and accomplish things in life to feel good about yourself. And when you do that, and because you feel good about yourself, the girls, the women that you have your eye on them, they'll be attracted to you because of the energy that you exude because of your efforts and accomplishments in life. But you're waiting for charity. Oh, I'm good looking, so this girl should like me. Or I'm not a nice person, I'm waiting for her to give me charity of smile at me, and I run. No, go make something out of yourself and make her to desire you by being someone who's accomplished herself, made something, is got plans, is making efforts, and that person would be the person that she would be interested in. And then you will not consider it if she leaves a trauma, because you know that the center for all these goodness and all the things that you can accomplish is you, not her. Your value is in you, is in your confidence, your abilities to negotiate life, not in her attention to you. Because that attention is because of you. And if you can get that attention from her, you can get that attention from other people. So you will be confident that it is your being the way you are that gets the attention, not her kindness giving you attention. So when she leaves, it's not a trauma. You're confident you can get another one. And you can. And relation caused me trauma, severe trauma, that I had to go to therapy. Jesus. And take antidepressants. No. Come on. Come on. I don't care where you live. It can't be the only woman there. Don't. You got to build yourself. You got to educate yourself. You got to learn yourself. Learn things. You got to be good at what you do. You got to, I don't know what kind of job you do, whatever it is, you got to be good at it to create that confidence in yourself. When you create that confidence in yourself, then these things, breakups and all that, it's not going to get you depressed. It's going to get you depressed for a couple of days, few days, maybe, you're sad for a week. But that's it. Kick your ass out and go and live this life. These are the opportunities that you have now. When you get old, you don't have these opportunities anymore. You have to understand what it is to appreciate. Appreciation for this life is about appreciating the abundance, the opportunities, the fact that you're alive, that you're experienced in this life. You're on this journey, not the fact that you were with this girl and then she doesn't want you, and then the whole thing, that whole scenario. This life opportunity is gone because, I can't be between her legs. Jesus. There's so many other women. So don't think so little of yourself. That's the problem. All right. Talk to your psychotherapist and get yourself out of that rot. And do meditation and do breathing exercise. Sometimes when you guys feel depressed or anxious, a very quick way of using the parafacial nuclei system of breathing versus the Prebutzinger complex. Prebutzinger complex is this way of breathing, which is a normal, involuntarily breathing. Like it happens whether you want it or not. Normal breathing, that's Prebutzinger complex system. And then facial nuclei system is the one that you can interrupt this rhythm. Like when you're laughing and you go, That's not a normal breathing, but it's still breathing. So you kind of, it allows you to manipulate the regular style of breathing. So you use that, which is in your control, and you do a breathing of a double breathing and then exhale. Like, just do this, what I said, what I did. A double breathing, one full, and then continue fill it higher to your head. And then let it out gently. And then you see how you feel. There are no thoughts in your head. Everything is tranquil and you're enjoying it. And suddenly you have a boost in your mood. The depression is not there or less. Anxiety is changed because the brain says, look, if he has time to breathe like this and is focusing on the exhale and breathing, then everything must be okay because there's nothing urgent. So I'm not anxious. Everything is cool. And it has an effect. Why? Well, the actual medical reason for it is that it fills all these little balloons in your lungs full of oxygen and brings a lot more oxygen in one breath to all the places they should go and takes all the CO2 as much as it can out. And the clarity brings a better mood and energy in you, which gives you the window to kick that little bit of anxiety or depression out of that moment, to give you a window to kind of get engaged in positive activities. Maybe the exercise that you were too lazy to go, now you feel good that you just go. And then you go and do some exercise, you feel better. All these things need a window because the more you stay in that rhythm of the rut that you've created in that mood, the harder it gets to get out of it. That's why then they give you a medication, or they have some electrodes placed on the head, and the psychologists order some kind of a shock treatment to jolt you out of that depression. But this breathing thing can also help you in the minor way that you are dealing with it and give you that window of opportunity to feel better, to start engaging in positive activities and activities that bring you new energy and so on and so forth. So breathe in. Makes you feel wonderful. And if you have a healthy, you're healthy and you talk to your doctor and he says or she says it's okay, you have a healthy heart and all that, always talk to your doctor before you do any of these exercises. Then you can, learn that Wim Hof breathing, which you then, breathe a 30 big breaths and let it out. And then on the 30th, you don't breathe in anymore. And for a minute, minute and a half, depending on your, how you build up to it. And then that also clears your head and resets the neurological deficiencies and make you feel better, and just a whole new attitude towards your capabilities and so on. And you practice that, and you can go on these sites and learn. Now, we used to all do all these things in when we were enrolled in training in Aikido. We would be taken to the mountain in the middle of the winter and do waterfall misugi, which cold ice water would come on top of us while we meditate, and we're supposed to keep mind and body coordinated and focus the way we've been taught to focus under that cold water, which the effect of it would remain with you the rest of the year, because it was done once a year, because you would know that in such hardship, such difficulty, such cold water, you were able to keep mind and body focused and keep that meditative state on, and therefore you would say in front of the challenges, whether it's exam or some other hardships that happens during the in your daily life, you would say, well, I could defeat that, I could withstand that kind of hardship, I'm prepared to also take on this challenge, and so on. And there were misugi meditation, bell misugi meditation we would do once a year, and that again would have bell ringing and chanting and clearing the brain, and the brain would only be thinking of nothing but that chant, which actually the meaning of it meant nothing. It was just a coordination of the yelling of it and the bell ringing and the coordination of everybody together doing and thinking of nothing but that. And after 1 hour of doing it, the mind was totally empty, and it gave you all those focus, mindfulness, and all the neurotransmitters that you needed. It was amazing for everything: depression, anxiety, and fitness, and so on and so forth. So you can use all these techniques to actually kick yourself out of that mode, and of course talk to your psychotherapist and see what he or she thinks before you do any of these things, and as I have suggested here. So if they say okay, then go ahead. Emmanuel says something quite interesting about her, though, is that she seems to be self-sufficient. She's very humble, but at the same time, she gives the impression that she doesn't need anything from life. Well, yeah, that's the smart impression that most people put out, whether they really mean it or that's their that's their posture. It always is attractive to others. And Imani says, yet she said she's looking for a man, but God has not brought him to her. Yeah, okay. And you want to be the one that God is going to give it to her, because if she accepts you, you think God has chosen you, therefore you're blessed. I mean, don't let this play with your head. Just, you see what I'm trying to say. And she's amazing, wonderful, perfect, I understand that. But once you get to know her, she may be just as good as you thought. Or she may be just totally not. Because outside life and inside life and what's going up here, it's all totally different. And perhaps you would be second fiddle anyhow to her God. Like, suddenly, you're not man of the house. God is. And you're supposed to be following what she would interpret what God wants, which is actually what she would prefer. And you become what? Second fiddle to her. It's not equal anymore. So I don't know. I can't say anything bad about her because I don't know her. But I know about you, and I want to make sure that you will not be just simply pulled in for the charisma that she has rather than the qualities that she could offer, which you should be focusing on. And Liamonas says hello again. Hello, Liamonas. I just sent you an email. I noticed you purchased the Breakup Pain Handbook, and I wanted to make sure if the download was complete, was okay, because sometimes these links break and they don't perform well. And hopefully my programmer will fix it when he has the time. And until then, I make sure anybody who purchases any of the books, I double check with them if they have received it or not. If not, let me know so I can email the book to you via email, because that I can do that very easily. And so depending on what system you use, they may not function. So let me know. I just respond to my email or respond right here so I can see that you have it or not, and then I can send it to you. And John Anesi, oh my goodness, you're here. Where have you been? John, Syracuse 30, Mehran, what do we have to do to get back to the old schedule? 2-a-day live streams, I miss those days. In Syracuse, it was 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. Loved it. Yeah, well, I had one today, 4.5 hours. And over that, I think. And then I'm having one tonight. That's Saturdays. But usually I'm trying to have one on Wednesday nights too. And then last night we had one because it was, Christmas and all that. So, and the one before, the day before, we had one too, I believe. And I guess our site was raided with all the people who wanted to wish us all Merry Christmas, and it was a positive raid. It wasn't trolling or anything, and they actually paid the channel about $100 of super chats, and just saying Merry Christmas. There's so many of them. Like suddenly we had 10 people. Like now, just like now, we had 10 people, and then I was talking. I wasn't noticing, but when I lift my head up, look, it was 86 of them. And so that meant that then I looked and said, oh yeah, we were raided. And so, and Weird Champ says, I've been drinking a lot. No, that's not good. Have you not seen my videos that says, one of the things that you shouldn't be doing, things that you shouldn't be doing after breakup, and one of them is drinking a lot. Oh, Oh, green tea. Oh, okay. Green tea is okay. I thought you meant alcoholic drink. Okay. I've been drinking lots of green tea. I drank lots of green tea just the past while. I mean, I used to drink like, well, I don't know, 10 tea a day. Then I got a little bit, kind of feel like it's a bit too much. I think there was a buzz, caffeine buzz there. So I stopped it. I haven't drank tea for a week now. These are like hot water and blueberry, hot water and decaffeinated Darjeeling with a couple of mango, dried mango in it. It tastes great. It says my doctor says too much testosterone or testosterone, and cortisol is bad for health. Is it true? First of all, I'm not a doctor, so what your doctor says, it trumps me because I don't have any medical credential. Secondly, tea is good for, like many things else, a proper amount. You have too much of that, that also is not good. Like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 tea a day is nice. But 10 tea a day, maybe too much. I used to have lots of tea, and that's not good. So he's right. But I don't know when you say testosterone, too much testosterone and cortisol is bad for health. I don't understand. Testosterone is good for you. I mean, it's not that something you get from outside. Your body makes it. So if you're making lots of testosterone, that's the nature of your body, and that's good. But I don't know what that word. Maybe it's a different word. And cortisol, of course, cortisol, that's a stress hormone. You need some of it because that gives you the vigor and the response and everything else that you want to accomplish, motivation, everything. But if it's more than enough, then it's not good either. Yeah. And so when you meditate, it reduces the cortisol level by a big number. But remember, I'm not a doctor. You always consult with your doctor, um, general practitioner, or a psychotherapist and psychologist, and so on and so forth. I don't want any misunderstanding. I'm sharing with you guys my research, my know-how, my experiences, and based on those researchers, the research that I've studied or researched, written my books and things like that, but I have no medical credentials. Ah, right you are. Let's see what we have here. Nito says, now for some reason, I don't know, I feel anxiety about my height. I'm 6'3", but don't feel it, so I feel like I'm shrinking, so I'm stressing. Listen, you're 6'3" and you think you're shrinking? Well, come here. I'll, I'll maybe help you to understand some things because what you're saying is, first of all, how old are you? Let me see if you have legal age. I don't want to be joking with you if you're not. Let me know your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from before your questions, guys. So there would be no, I just got to know how to properly respond to you according to your age, gender, and your culture, if I can. So let me know that. But 6'3" is, I don't care what you think, you're not shrinking. So, um, Abhishek says, although my family members and best friends think I'm a good human being, but after 2 consecutive breakups, my perspective of myself has been changed, and I think I'm not good enough. Oh, you're not good enough for those 2 people, maybe. That's the extent of it. Well, how can you judge yourself about what other people think of you when most of them say you're such a good person anyhow? And in relationship, well, you may have expectations or they could have expectations. It's not compatible. That's it. It's not about being good or bad. It's about not being compatible. So stop putting yourself down just so because you want to make the girl so special. So you put yourself down so you can say, well, I had such an amazing girlfriend because she was so much better than me. No, she wasn't. Honestly, stop being too modest for nothing. What for? You think she's going to hear it? And she's going to run back, oh, you're so nice. You said a good thing about me. Yeah. Just don't. Have a little pride in yourself. You know, be nice, be cordial, be kind, be compassionate, be respectful to women, but have respect for yourself as well. Atif says, love the stories, Mehran. The samurai one was great. Yeah, I know. And the Weird Champ says, I'm trying to get a scholarship to Canada or somewhere west. I have genetic asthma. Will it be hard to live in cold countries if I have asthma? I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't respond to these questions because I don't have the credentials to say anything about it. So I don't want to mislead you. But I do know that there are people with asthma here in this country. So obviously, but then again, you have to ask a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Liamones says, I'm doing breathing by Wim Hof every morning. Good for you! 2-3 rounds. Well, either 2 or 3. I mean, every time make it the same. 3 rounds, why not? And it helps a lot. Yes, it does. And starting cold showers for a few minutes. Yes, good. And she says, I got a book, all good. Okay, yeah. So you downloaded it. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. All right, thank you. If anybody goes on my site and purchases a book, ebook, and it doesn't download as it should, don't panic. Just send me an email, and then I will email you the book as soon as I see your email. And Neville Nahando, that's the first one. You're first timer. Your first time here, right? Welcome. Says, hi, I just want to know how to get over. First, I want to know how old you are, what your gender is, and which country you're calling in. You're writing your comment. I read it, but I won't answer it until I get that because I need to know how old you are. Says, hi, I just want to know how to get over my ex-girlfriend. I keep on waking up to her and go to sleep thinking of her. Yeah, that's normal because you're just at a certain age or a certain obsession about her and that, oh, she's my woman, she was my this and that, so forth. Especially when you have had intimacy with her, it's so important for us to, that whole part of the whole relationship. So you have that whole excitement and memory in it. But look, there will be many relationships in your life, and this is one of them, and it has come to its duration. Everything in life has duration, and the duration of this relationship was this. So don't make it a big deal. Don't make her to be a god. She wasn't. She was just another human being like you. She got to get up in the morning, wash her face, go to the bathroom, clean up, and go on to studies or job or whatever it is that she's doing. So she's no god. It's your desire for intimacy and for having a girlfriend, for having a certain kind of a image of you that you would like other people to see you as, to create that image that has made you feel like she's so important. But she's just a person who's going to come in to the image you create, and she participates in that plan, and you can choose other women to come and participate in it once you get to know them and you find each other qualified. Otherwise, you can't just say, oh, that was the only one that was making me important. It's not true. You've created an image and you think, well, without her, you don't have that image. Well, create a different image. Images are good for creating, and then you don't need it, you create another image. We live on our image. You go to the store and you are having an image of a shopper. If you're working in the store, you have an image of a clerk. If you're in the bus, you have an image of a passenger. If you're driving a bus, you have image of a bus driver. You're at school, you have image of student. You teach a class, you have image of a professor or a teacher. You go to your parents, you have an image of a son or daughter. You talk to your children, you have an image of a mother or father. So these images, depending on what you're doing in your life, is going to be absorbed, used, and then when you finish with that particular task, you throw that image out and you get another image. And this was an image you had, image of a guy who had a girlfriend, and that's how you would like other people to see you. Now she's not there, so you still are the same person and like the same image. So it's simply go and find another actor, actress to put in that image and create the same image again. It's not a big deal. Everything is there. You're there, the main actor. The scenario is there. You want that kind of relationship. Just go find a girl. It's not just she's the only one that can make that image come true. That's not true. All right. I hope that helps you out. And please teach me how to move on. I have been obsessed about my ex. Don't be obsessed. It's not going to get you anywhere. Because you're giving the control of your mood and happiness in somebody else's decision making. If she doesn't want to be with you, but in order for you to feel good, you want her to be with you, but it's dependent on her decision. So who's in control here? Not you. So your mood and happiness is not in your own hand, in your own control. That's terrible. You got to be in charge of your own mood and happiness by your own abilities to make things change for you, not by waiting for somebody else to make a decision in your favor so you would feel good about yourself. No, that's not good. So waiting for her to make a decision to like you so you would feel good about yourself, that's a mistake. You got to make you feel good about yourself by yourself, and not to wait for somebody else to make a decision that it is in your favor and then you feel good about yourself. And Pranay says, where is your link for the book, sir? Oh, that link is when you go to my site and you purchase the book. If the link doesn't work, then I send you the book via the email. But you got to purchase that book from the site, and that's the link will come to you. I think you came in a bit late to understand what I was trying to. I was responding to one of the people who had purchased the book. And Nito is 18 and male, Hispanic. Nito, Hispanic is people who speak Spanish, but Hispanic is not a nation. So which country? Which country? Anyhow, I believe I answered your question. Okay. Weird Champ says, how much is the book? I think the book is what, $8.99, something like that. The paper version is $105. That's 600 pages. That book is 600 pages. But the ebook of the same book, same pages, same everything is $8.99. So obviously ebook is the best way to go. But the book that I want you guys to purchase is Me, My Psyche, and I. There are 3 books there. The Breakup Pain Handbook, Transient Thoughts and Me, My Psyche, and I. I highly recommend Me, My Psyche, and I because it all around helps you to understand your psyche better. Thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, meditation, mind needs a home, and all these other things that you need to know. Even the way to do meditate is there in that book. So, and if you had a problem with the link, just send me an email and I'll send you the ebook via email. Carpe Diem says 42 Mail Canada says maybe we can have a call in show with you, Mehran, like in the 90s on the radio. Yeah, that would be good. Saturday evening with Mehran. Yeah, that'd be great. I just don't know how to have that podcast that I can hear your voices. And have I missed anyone here? No, I guess I've. And okay. Steven says, this past month I've stopped doing things that I enjoy. I've been too focused and worried that this so-called relationship was falling apart. Well, now you don't have to worry about it because you were right. It was falling apart and you had fallen apart, but she was coward not to tell you. That's why she was doing all these weird things, pulling away on all this bullshit that puts you into some kind of a tangent to think what it is. I have to find out what it is. No, all it is that she doesn't have the guts to say, look, I'm stupid. I wanted you now that you want me. I don't want you because I'm just a weak person. Instead, was playing all these things that put you in bamboozle and took your energy and time. Now you know. So that thing is over. You don't have to worry about that. And Neville says, I have been hurt so much. So how do I find yourself? You're not lost. In fact, you get hurt, you definitely know where you are because you got hurt. So you know where you are. You can feel the pain. You're not lost to find yourself. Says, how do I find myself as a man? Nothing has been taken away from you. Some girl doesn't like you. That's all. It's her choice. But you are something that you've always been, if not better, with the experience that you have now. You're more experienced now. You're a better man than before. You're an seasoned man. You become the more you get through all these experiences. And says, and avoid being emotionally attached. Well, you're a human being. You get emotionally attached. You can't expect yourself not to be emotionally attached. You want to have a relationship. You're an honest person. You have emotional attachment. That's fine. But once it proves itself that it's useless and they don't deserve that emotional attachment that you can create or you have bonded with them, then just detach yourself, unattach yourself. And you can do that. Man, and avoid being emotionally attached to a woman or anything for my happiness. Please help me. Well, you just have to exactly listen to what you just said. That you don't want to be emotionally attached to a woman or anything for your happiness. That means you want your happiness to be independent of relation. If you go on my channel and key in happiness, just the word happiness. See, I'm going to do it right here. If you do that, you will see the videos that I have on happiness, and happiness should be independent of other things. Otherwise, if your happiness is dependent on relationship or this and that, have this, have that, then you're not in control of your happiness. You'll be like a yo-yo going up and down depending on what's happening outside. You have to be independent of the outside influences. That's where your happiness would be pure. So right here, you just in the search engine say happiness. Just one word, happiness. And you will have, heaven's sake, there's so many of them, like many numbers. 24. You will have 24 videos with under the name of happiness. Like happiness is in the title. You choose, and then happy. The word happy will give you 29. So might as well put both of them and see which one you choose, and find how to be happy. 6 minutes. Secret of how to be happy in life. 23 seconds. Oh my goodness, that's a record. And what does being happy with yourself actually mean? 2 minutes and 58 seconds. 3 minutes. You can see all these. How can I be happy now that she has left? Oh, maybe that's what you want to watch. Let me put the link here for you. That's a cool one. I gotta watch that myself. See, what did I say in there? There are over 2,000 videos on this channel, guys. So pretty much anything you can think of under the sun after breakup or having to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, OCD, HOCD, substance OCD, it's here. We got a video on it. Breakups. All right. It was like a gut feeling I had and didn't want to believe or accept. Well, yeah, your gut feeling was right. Weird Champ says, Sir, what's your education? Is it worth college degrees and masters? College is very closely in my country. College, university, the 4 year university. Yeah, I have a degree in business administration, but my research all my life has been on movement of mind. So that's something I love to do. So my education is in different field, but my books are about you know the movement of the psyche, meditation, mind and body coordination, and my research is about the separation of mind, of brain, mind, and you, mind, brain, thought, and you, and understanding these principles brings about the better understanding of yourself and your psyche. And that's where the freedom is, to understand how this machine works and malfunctions, rather than thinking that brain is you. The brain is not you, far from it. And I've got different videos that through scientific um, reports of the neurosurgeons clearly shows that you're not the brain, brain is not you, plus all the other philosophical discussions from hundreds of years ago's masters that I have included in my discussions, and of course my own experiences and way of delivery. We have the videos that you can rely on as far as more information, and then we have the links of all these other important psychologists, psychotherapists, neuroscientists, and so on, that you can enjoy watching their presentations and educate yourself about different topics that we have talked about on this channel. Uh, do you have a video on abundance? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I think I know I've talked about it, but I don't know if in the title there is the word abundance. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that word into the title, but I know I've talked about abundance. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't see it here. Okay, guys. Weird Champ says, is it true that the mind is the brain itself? No. As a whole, I read it in a psychology article. No. Mind and brain are separate. They're not the same. It was the materialists who always argued that there's nothing but atom and void. There's nothing but the brain. And the material is everything that's out. There is no mind. In fact, they actually didn't believe there was any mind until it was scientifically proven, and they were all refuted. And through the work of Dr. Roger Sperry and Dr. Wilder Penfield and Dr. Owens and Dr. Levitt, and as it is apparent in the discussion and the video that Dr. Ignar has made, all the scientific proof is there that has defeated and refuted the materialism, and all these scientific researchers who are of anything, they now believe strongly with scientific proof in dualism that there is the you mind, there is something beyond the brain, and you're beyond the brain, and brain is not you, you're not the brain, and mind and brain are not the same. It's like saying your soul and the brain is the same. It's all material in the brain, but the wisdom, the intellect, is separate from the brain. The mind has to do with the intellect. The brain doesn't. And Neville says, how do I move on without thinking of her? I was with this girl for 8 years. Now she got somebody else after breakup. I'm very thankful of you. Honestly, I can't wait one-on-one session with you. Wonderful. I look forward to that. You can go on my site, make an appointment. And for 1 hour appointment to begin with the new clients, I give 2 hours and we'll discuss it in detail one-on-one on Skype. And the Weird Champ says, sir, I have a problem with dating with girls. At the start, they get excited and attached to me, but over time, they lose interest. What is the main cause for that? I have Stephen, who's an expert in that. And that's because you show so much interest and you're so available to them and you do everything they want to do and you want assurances from them. Every time you see them, you want to kiss, you want to hug, and you want them to tell you that how wonderful you are, and you ask for that, you beg for that, and all that neediness make them feel that you're no good. Why? Because most people, men or women, in your case we're talking about, these women that you meet don't have enough confidence in themselves. So when they see that they want you is when you don't really want them, pay so much attention to them. But when you do and you start doing too much attention, they say, why is this guy paying so much attention to me? I don't think I'm that hot. If I don't think I'm that hot, but this guy pays attention to me so much, well, why? That means he's not hot. So I don't want somebody who pays so much attention to me. But at the beginning, that you were not paying so much attention to them, they wanted you to pay so much attention. But as soon as you start paying attention to them, because they don't have much confidence, they say, well, someone who pays so much attention to me must not be great. Why? Because they don't think they're great. That's why then somebody who pays attention to someone that they know it's not great themselves, they must not be great. And say, if it's not great, I don't want him. They break up with you. So just be normal, not so overwhelmingly, interested in that. And Steven says, good night, Naram. Pleasure listening in tonight. And thanks again. I'll listen to this again before work tomorrow. Wonderful. Now, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share a thing or two with you. It's time for me to go for a nightly walk. I've been sitting a lot today, and I think my legs are going to feel like that they need a walk. So hopefully we'll continue discussion some other time. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.